So I have OCD, and I don't mean like I need everything like neat and clean and tidy. I do, but that's not. I have OCD in the way of obsessive compulsion. For example, a lot of times whenever I was a teenager, I would have these really, really like fucked up dark thoughts that if I didn't do this one specific thing, it's gonna lead into all these horrible bad things happening to me in my family. And it would be something like really not even related, like if I didn't brush my teeth, so in my mind back then, if I didn't brush my teeth, something horrible would happen. My brother would die or something. That's what my mind was like convincing me of for so long, and I didn't know I had OCD. And OCD is not a very logical thing, obviously. At least for me, it's just obsessive compulsions to try to control the outcome of things that aren't even related. So to try to combat that and actively think of when I'm having an episode of like OCD and I am able to recognize that and sort of control my actions, be like, it's okay, this isn't actually gonna happen if I don't do this, and then try to redirect it. Getting to the actual point of this, now that you have some context, I grew up pagan. And to me, it's really hard for me to go back into the headspace of believing in something that it's not logical to me. Especially because I have OCD, because I have this fear that if I start like going back to my religious roots, that I'm going to start dealing with my OCD more and more in like a negative way because it's not scientific or logical. I try to stick things that are scientific or logical to me outside of my paranormal experience. Even those I rationalize to be, well, it could be this or it could that. There's only like two that I truly, truly do believe in with my full heart because I'm just that type of person. But I've come to realize that in doing that, I have taken away something that is actually very comforting for me and helps me deal with my OCD. Because although I know that it's not logical and that this magic little like bag or like a little bottle or this rock is actually like scientifically helping me, it brings me comfort, especially like having OCD and battling that. It brings me comfort to be like, okay, so as long as I have this little item with me or I do this, that it's not going to happen. The bad things I think are going to happen are not going to happen. And that's such a source of comfort. But at the same time, like the logical side of my brain is like, well, that's not actually helping. That's just me trying to comfort myself. And I want to be able to allow myself to go back to some of the practices that I grew up doing because they were really comforting for me whenever I was dealing with a lot at home or I was dealing with OCD symptoms. Having something that I can do that calms me down in that way, that makes me feel like, okay, I am protected. Everything is okay. They are protected because I did this ritual thing. Even if I know scientifically it's not how that works, it's just a comforting thing for me. And it's difficult because there's like these two sides of my brain where I'm like, I know that it's comforting, but also I can't fully believe in it. Like I've just never been a fully religious person in my entire life. But that being said, I want to be able to actually allow myself to have these coping mechanisms that do comfort me whenever I'm dealing with my OCD shit or I'm having a panic attack or something, you know? So I think I'm going to allow myself, like finally be able to allow myself after all these years to go back into that realm on a very surface level thing. Because I'm just not a religious person like that, but growing up and this being a comfort, like this being something that consistently has made me feel safe and better, even if I can't fully put my entire belief system into that. I don't know. What's your thoughts on this? I mean, regardless, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do about it, but I want other people's opinions and like the community and shit. And like if you do with something similar, like I want to know your experiences with that and how you're able to cope with it because I used to struggle so bad. I used to struggle with it so bad. And I've gotten so much better at handling myself. And this is just something that I know because in the past it has worked for me that I want to go back to. But almost in a way, I feel like I would be cosplaying a person that I just am not. And that's like where the struggle is for me.